Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukamukadam ritadivasam mutam vibhata bhagatam rasamalayam muhuroharasikabu vibhavukaham Narayanam namaskritya naram chaivaranottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet Nashtapayeshu videshu nityam bhagavate sevaya bhagavate uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtikim Ete chamsa kala pumsam krishnastu bhagavan sayam indriyari vyakulam lokam vridyante yuge yuge Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranama dukkha samanastam namami harim param. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 12th chapter, text number 16. Tatteham darshayishyami didriksho sura sattama kaminam bahumantavyam sankalpa prabhavodayam. Tat, that, te, unto you, aham, I, darshayishyami, shall show, didriksho, desirous of seeing, surasattamam, O best of the demigods, kaminam, of persons who are very lusty, bahu, very much, mantavyam, an object of adoration, sankalpa, lusty desires, prabhava udayam, raising to be strongly aroused. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. O best of the demigods, I shall now show you my form that is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it in your presence. Purport. Lord Shiva's desiring to see Lord Vishnu reveal the most attractive and beautiful form of a woman was certainly a joking affair. Lord Shiva knew that he could not be agitated by any so-called beautiful woman. The Daityas may have been bewildered, he thought, but since even the demigods could not be agitated, what to speak of me, who am the best of all the demigods? However, because Lord Shiva wanted to see Lord Vishnu's form as a woman, Lord Vishnu decided to impersonate a woman and show him a form that would immediately put him in a notion of lusty desires. In effect, therefore, Lord Vishnu told Lord Shiva, I will show you my form as a woman, and if you become agitated by lusty desires, do not blame me. The attractive features of a woman are appreciated by those who are affected by lusty desires. But those who are above such desires, who are on the platform of Krishna consciousness, are very difficult to bewilder. Nonetheless, by the supreme desire of the personality of Godhead, everything can be done. This was to be a test of whether Lord Shiva could remain unagitated. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Militam Yanam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Savarantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yotavad Kamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Ritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaganvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivadari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tate aham darshayishyami didriksho suratamma Kaminam bahumantavyam sankalpa prabhavodayam. O best of the demigods, I shall now show you my form that is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. Since you want to see that form, I shall reveal it in your presence. So the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are very wonderful, very amazing. Of course, the most exalted pastimes of Krishna's pastimes in Golok Vrindavan, the highest realm in the spiritual world, with his eternal associates, his friends, his parents, and especially the gopis, who are actually the most beautiful women. Of course, Krishna is completely transcendental to this material world. Similarly, all the eternal associates of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, they are completely transcendental, Satchidananda Swarup. And especially the gopis, so they are so exalted in their service that they are able to actually even bewilder Krishna transcendentally. Of course, we understand that Krishna is the source of everything, and Tattva Vichar is there. His Dhyadipurush is the source of everything, of all the different expansions of the personalities of Godhead, and the Shakti Tattva, the goddesses of fortune, Amul Shakti Srimati Radharani, and all the goddesses of fortune are the expansions of Srimati Radharani, and all the spiritual material worlds emanate from Krishna. But that in Lila Vichar, in the pastimes, in the consideration of the pastimes, so even Krishna, by his own energy, to perform his Leelas, by the Leela Shakti, his own potency, he also becomes bewildered. He's Sarvagya, he knows everything. But then he's becoming Mugdha also, he's becoming bewildered sometimes. Just like even when Krishna appeared in Prakat Leela, in this material realm, so then he was killing many demons, and sometimes he became bewildered, just like when Aghasur came. So big snake, a demon was there, and by mystic power he assumed the body of a big snake. So Krishna, at the first, it is explained, he was a little bit bewildered. What is happening here? Looks like a snake, but is a huge form, and all my friends are going inside. So he was a little bit mugdha, bewildered. But then again, so by the Leela Shakti, but then again he understood everything. He's Sarvagya. He's Sarvagya, he knows everything, and then he's mugdha. So therefore also when Maria Yashoda when Krishna broke some pots, as she was breastfeeding him and she had to take care of the milk, which was overboiling. So she left Krishna to serve Krishna by boiling the milk and then to make some sweets. Krishna becomes angry and then breaks the pots, milk pots and butter pots, and is eating, distributing to his friends and monkeys. And then Maria Yashoda is running behind him. And then he starts crying. So even Mother Kunti, she understood that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. But she became bewildered. How is this? That the Supreme Lord is crying. Afraid of Mother Yashoda, afraid of the stick which he's holding. And he's crying. And he's not just playing, now I have to cry. No, but he was really crying. He was afraid of Mother Yashoda. So in this way the wonderful pastimes are going on. Adbhut Leela of Krishna, of Adbhut Krishna, wonderful Krishna. So then again he is Sarvagya, and he shows Mother Yashoda ultimately. His greatness is there, and so Mukunda, his Sarvagya, is all-knowing, and he becomes bewildered, he himself. So what to speak of others? So what to speak of the pure devotees even? So in the spiritual land, they don't know that Krishna is God. By the Yoga Maya, by the internal potency of Krishna, Yoga Maya. So they think Krishna is my best friend. He's my beloved, he's my son. So that is spiritual bewilderment. And then, of course, in the material world, everyone is bewildered by the external energy. They are not aware of the Supreme Lord. They are not aware of themselves, that they are not his body. So they are greatly bewildered. So, here in this pastime, so Lord Shiva, so we should understand his position. Yatha Vaishnavam Shambhu is the greatest Vaishnav, a pure devotee of the Lord. So special tattva is there. So the Vishnu tattva is there, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and his expansions, they are known as Vishnu tattva. Krishna is the origin of all. Ete chamsa kala pumsam. Krishna's too, Bhagavan Swayam. Certainly, too, certainly. He's not only Bhagavan, but he's the Supreme, Swayam, Bhagavan. He himself is the source of all the other personalities of Godhead. Ete chamsa kala pumsam. So they're all expansions of Krishna. That is Vishnu tattva. And then the Shakti tattva, the energy of the Lord, and the Mool Shakti Srimati Radharani, and all the goddesses of fortune, and the Lakshmi Devis, they are expansions of Srimati Radharani. Sita Devi, Durga Devi, the expansions of Srimati Radharani. And then there's a Shiva tattva, and the Jiva tattva. Jiva tattva, the living entities. Two kinds, Nitya Siddha and Nitya Bhada. In the spiritual realm, those who are engaged in the service of the Lord, so they're always liberated, never bewildered. Some living entities by the inconceivable potency of the Lord are there, Nitya Bhada, since time immemorial, Anadi Kal. So they are in this conditioned state, but they're also eternal servants of Krishna, but they are not serving Krishna. And they are situated in the Brahma Jyoti, and the effulgence of Krishna. So they're also in Krishna, they're with Krishna. But they are not actively serving yet. They're in conditioned state, spiritually conditioned. And between the Jiva and the Vishnu Tattva is the Shiva Tattva. Kshiram yatha vikara vishesha yoga sanjayate nahi tata pratigasti heto yashambhutam abhi tata samata itikaryad govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. So Lord Brahma is praying, Bhajami, Aham Bhajami, I am worshipping Govinda, who is the Adi Purush. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigrana, Adiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam, is the source of everything. So he's explaining about Lord Shiva. So he's coming from the Supreme Lord. It is also mentioned that, for example, Balaram is the first expansion of Krishna. Non-different from Krishna, but some difference is there. So he's coming from the right side of Krishna, he's on the right side. And Srimati Radharani is coming from the left side of Krishna. She's situated on the left side. Even it is mentioned that Lord Shiva is coming from the right side. He's almost like Vishnu, but there's some difference there. For a specific purpose of the creation and for the living entities to come in this world. Ultimately, were expanded forms of Krishna or Vishnu, but then through the via media of Lord Shiva and then Lord Brahma, they come in this world and then they become conditioned. So Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava, and so he can never be bewildered, actually, we should understand. He's on the Yoga Maya, the internal potency. Shrimad Gopishwaram Vande Shankara Karunamayam Sarva Kleshaharam Devam Vrindavan Rati Pradam. So even therefore the Acharyas, Sanatana Goswami, so they were taking shelter of Lord Shiva when they were residing in Braj. Sanatana Goswami every day he was going to see Lord Shiva Mahadev, Gopeshwar Mahadev. When he was old, he was not able to go there, and then Lord Shiva manifested another form nearer to where he was staying, Bankant Mahadev. If you go towards Loy Bazaar, there, the Shivling is there. So he could go there. So it's a shorter distance. And when he was going to Govardhan, when he was a little younger, not so old. In the old age it was difficult. But when he was a little younger, so he was every day going to Govardhan and doing from Vrindavan and doing parikrama of Govardhan, and then going to Mathura doing Madhukari, begging some chapati from the Mathura Vasis, one chapati or two, and then going back to Vrindavan. So that is at least, would be like 50 kilometers. So great distance, and very swiftly he was walking. So everything is possible for the Vaishnavas, and by the Supreme Lord's mercy. But in old age he was not able to walk so much. So therefore, Krishna himself presented to him one Govardhan Shila and told him, you don't have to do Govardhan Parikrama, but you can circumambulate this Govardhan Shila. So when he was at Govardhan, he was staying near Manasi Ganga. And there is a Shivling is there also, Chakaleshwar Mahadev. And so he was staying there and offering pranam there. And one time he was staying there doing his bhajan, mosquitoes were there, they were disturbing him. To some extent, of course the devotees are never disturbed, but still, we know the mosquitoes sometimes they're bothering us. If they're too much bothering us, it's difficult to do our bhajan, our chanting. Bzz, 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 and biting. So it's difficult. Then you have to chase them away. Those who stay here, they have the experience. They know sometimes mosquitoes are there. And when it's cold, they're not there. It's too cold for them. And when it's too hot in the summer, they're also not there. But in rainy season, so they are coming alive. And they are in greater, so they are becoming more and more. And then they are biting the devotees also. So we try to tolerate. Sometimes there are too many, and we have to, then it is difficult to do our bhajan. Then we have the all-out, this mosquito all-out. There's a kind of fragrance is there which is bewildering the mosquitoes. So therefore he was a little disturbed, transcendently disturbed. Thinking, I cannot do my bhajan because of these mosquitoes. So then he was ready to leave. But Lord Shiva, he liked Sanatana Goswami, that he was there, because he's a pure devotee. And so the relationship is there, exchange. So then he appeared as a Brahmana and told him that you just stay here, and I want you to stay here, and I make sure there are no mosquitoes here. And of course he realized that is Lord Shiva. And then he stayed there, and even up to this day there are not many mosquitoes there. So Lord Shiva is a great personality. He's Kshetrapal, he's protecting the holy Dham, so that no unqualified person can do their nefarious activities here. And they cannot reside here properly, if one is not a devotee of the Lord. And so in order to enter the Ras Leela also, he's there, Gopishwar, Mahadev. And so he wanted to also enter Ras Leela at one point, and he wanted to watch. But of course, at Lord Shiva, he cannot go there. He cannot see the Ras Leela. Even the demigods, so sometimes they may see something, but not all the pastime. Usually the male demigods, they can see Krishna. They can only not see the gopis. But the demigoddess, they may see, but not clearly and everything. So he was not able to go, but he was going near the rasa dance. And then actually he asked Purnamasi Devi, Yogamaya, please give me a form so I can be there. So she gave him a form of a gopi. But she didn't give him a name, and didn't tell him all the other details which have to be there. So just had a gopi form, but no name. And so then the gopi saw something is not right here. And then they looked around, and they saw one gopi, a new gopi. Who are you? What is your name? Name? So he couldn't say anything, because she didn't give him a name. And where are you from? Who is your father? Who is your mother? He couldn't answer. Then they slapped him a few times, the gopis. And then Krishna came, he understood that is Shiva, and he said, that is, don't bother him too much. That is actually Lord Shiva who wanted to watch, and so he came as a gopi. So because, in order to enter the highest realm, so we have to have a transcendental form. And the transcendental name will be there. And the place where we are staying, a transcendental father and mother will be there. So anyway, the point is to show that Lord Shiva, so is such a great personality, and that is protecting the holy place. He has darshan of Krishna, and the gopis are respecting him. Such a great personality cannot really be bewildered by the Lord. But only by the internal potency, Yoga Maya, is bewildered, not by the external potency, Mahamaya. So that should be clearly understood. But he was expressing his desire, and as we can learn so many things from these pastimes here of the Lord and his devotees. So then, Lord Shiva, he was thinking, well, he had heard about this Mohini Murti, and he wanted to see this form, Mohini Murti. And of course, he's not bewildered, not even by Durga Devi. She cannot bewilder him, even if she's beautifully dressed and trying to entice him, but he's absorbed in Krishna, in remembering Krishna or Mahaprabhu. He's also meditating on Mahaprabhu, not only on Krishna. He's also a devotee of Mahaprabhu. So he cannot be bewildered. One time Cupid wanted to, the love of, the god of love. So he wanted to bewilder him. But that is not possible. And then, then he burned him to ashes, Cupid. Therefore he's known as Ananga. He doesn't have a body, so gross body, of course. Still he may manifest, but he's bewildering everyone in this material world. But he cannot bewilder Lord Shiva. Nobody can bewilder Lord Shiva, materially speaking. But still, as a kind of joke, as Prabhupada is explaining, he wanted to see this beautiful form of Mohini Murti, by which the demons were bewildered. But the demigods, they were aware that this is an expanded form of the Supreme Lord, just like Lakshmi Devi, but a little different than Lakshmi Devi, but similar. Just like Durga Devi, is just like Lakshmi Devi, but different. So then, as explained here, So that by the Supreme Lord himself, okay, I shall show you now my form. That is very much appreciated by those who are lusty. So they all became bewildered. But somehow when Lakshmi Devi was there, they all understood, even the demigods, that she's the consort of the Supreme Lord, the eternal consort. So they were controlling themselves, although they were also attracted. But they knew we cannot be lusty, because otherwise we may be in trouble. So they had some understanding, but not true understanding. But then when this form came, Mohini Murti, special form, female form of the Lord, and so they became bewildered, they became lusty, because she's different from Lakshmi Devi. She's not the consort of the Lord. She's an expanded female form. So anything is possible for the Lord. So they became lusty. And then, Mohini Murti, so because they had taken the pot from Dhanvantari, which was actually meant for the demigods. So she took the pot and gave to the demigods. So and then she disappeared, of course. So he wanted to see that form. And so then, as Prabhupada is explaining, so then Krishna, so the Supreme Lord, so he was saying, since you want to see the form, I shall reveal it. I shall reveal that form in your presence. And then Prabhupada is explaining, pure devotee, but then don't blame me if you get bewildered by that form, if you become lusty. And so some agitation was there, as we know, as we will hear. And but it is transcendental. So just like, for example, even the pure devotees, so in this material, in this world, so they may get married, like Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and their children. So some agitation it is there, but it is different from the conditioned souls who are then producing children. The pure devotees also have children. But they are completely absorbed in the Lord. So that agitation which may be there, it is transcendental. But that will also produce, of course, children which are special. But they may not even be all pure devotees, like Prabhupada's children. They were not all pure devotees. The youngest one, Vrindavan Das, he was a wonderful devotee, but the others, they were not so wonderful. And the eldest one, he was wanting to take over the society and claim the properties. So he was not a pure devotee, although he's the son of Prabhupada. Even Advaita Acharya had 6 sons. 3 were pure devotees, and the foremost among them Achyutananda. But the other 3, so they were smarta brahmanas. They didn't have full faith in Mahaprabhu or Nityananda Prabhu. So as a supreme being, as a supreme personality of Godhead. So even the pure devotee, sometimes some agitation is there, but it is transcendental under Yoga Maya. But then in this material world, so some effect will be there. So similarly, we should understand Lord Shiva also became agitated to some extent, but it is not material agitation. And the result was also, of course, astonishing, and as will be heard later on, and following verses. So it is a pastime of the Lord, of showing this Mohini Murti, and to some extent, Lord Shiva becoming bewildered. So, and to some extent, so we may say so the devotees, so all the emotions which we are seeing in this material world are perverted reflections from the eternal emotions which are there, which are in the personalities of the pure devotees, of the eternal associates of the Lord. So even there's some pride is there, transcendental pride. And like the gopis also sometimes transcendently proud that, oh, I'm Krishna, Krishna's beloved, most beloved. Or here also Lord Shiva, some little pride was there. But it is transcendental. I'm one of the demigods. I'm the devotee of the Lord. So I cannot be bewildered by Mahamaya, by the external potency. So which is true. And but still he wanted to see that form. And then he became bewildered to some extent. So there's a very fine line between this. So therefore also we can learn from that. We have to be very careful that we may not be bewildered, that we are always under the influence of the Antaranga Shakti, Yoga Maya. But then Maya, Mahamaya may be there sometimes. So we have to be very careful and be always humble and respectful and pray for the mercy of the Lord and cry out for the mercy, for the protection. Even one time Srila Prabhupada was taking darshan of the deities, and then he was emotional, he was crying. Some devotees, they were there, of course, many different reasons why the pure devotee is crying. Sometimes due to transcendental ecstasy, seeing the wonderful form of Krishna. Sometimes due to transcendental feelings of separation, not being able to see Krishna, then crying in separation. Sometimes they may be afraid and then crying. So at that point, so one devotee asked Prabhupada, why are you crying? So Prabhupada said, because Maya is very strong. So I'm crying to Krishna to please protect me. So even a pure devotee, he can see Maya. He can feel Maya. But he's not bewildered by Maya. And he's fixed in the service of Krishna. And he's not become bewildered. But he can see Maya. And so then he's praying, please Krishna, protect me from this Maya, from your external energy. So the devotee, so he's never falling down from his position, but still he's feeling the energy, the external energy, he's seeing, but therefore he's taking shelter of Krishna, because the living entities are infinitesimal. Krishna is Vibhu, is unlimited, great. And the living entities are very small, tiny, Anu. So therefore they may feel something, in this material world. So therefore they're crying out to Krishna, please help me. And then also to show, so to show the devotees that we have to always take shelter of Krishna, and not become proud and think, yes, Maya cannot touch me. And one time Prabhupada said of his disciples, so American disciples, he was saying that this is your one of your problems, you are not afraid enough of Maya. So, but we have to be afraid of Maya. Maya is very strong, always trying to disturb the devotees, trying to pull them down. So the intelligent devotee, he's very meek and humble, and he's praying to Krishna, please protect me. He's praying to the internal energy, Radharani, please protect me. Even he's praying, offering respect to Maya Devi. Please, Maya Devi, let me serve Krishna. Please don't disturb me. Please don't allure me. And then especially we have to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in the beginning we are not able to approach the divine couple. So that is beyond us. So therefore we have to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the deliverer of the most fallen. Padita Pavana Hetu Tavavatar. He has to come to deliver the most fallen. And the age of Kali, everyone is fallen. Kaula Shuddra Sambhavaha. So therefore we have to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And especially by chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, because the material energy is very strong. And and of course Mahaprabhu is there on the altar, we pray to him, he's there in our heart. But then, for example, when we see, even if you go outside the temple, even in Vrindavan, so the condition is sometimes very difficult. So much pollution is there, noise pollution, air pollution is there, and even, for example, the attraction to the opposite sex may be there because they may be not properly dressed, because the environment is such, so this may be difficult. So then we have to take shelter of Krishna Nam. And then that is actually the only shelter of the devotees, is then Krishna Nam. And because it may be, we cannot, so when we don't see Mahaprabhu outside, and not even inside, in our heart, in our consciousness, when the purity is not yet there, then the only shelter is Krishna Nam. And then we have to chant the Maha Mantra. And then because the Mahamantra is none different from Krishna, none different from Radha Krishna, none different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we are protected if we sincerely chant the holy names. And then ultimately by chanting the holy names, we can see Mahaprabhu, we can see Radha Krishna, we can see their pastimes. And then there's no question of falling down. But unless and until we're on their platform, we have to pray and we have to take shelter of the holy names. So therefore, Kirtaniya Sadahari, Trinadapi Sunichena Tororapi Saishnu Namani Namananena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Always being humble, tolerant, being very respectful towards all Vaishnavas, all living entities. Seeing that all the living entities are part and parcels of Krishna, and Krishna is residing in everyone's heart. And then, so we have to take shelter. Then we can chant the holy names constantly. And we have to practice to chant as much as possible. As Prabhupada said, at least 16 rounds we should chant. And other times also. So when we are doing something, we can chant the holy names, or recite some verses, or try to think of Krishna. So we have to practice. And then we are saved from any allurements of this material world. Otherwise it is not possible. Only by Krishna's mercy. So Lord Shiva is a Yatha Vaishnavam Shambhu. He's the greatest Vaishnav. So he's always absorbed in remembering Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, remembering Krishna. So he can never be bewildered. So that we should understand it is a pastime of the Lord. So for the benefit, so that we may learn something. So not to become proud of our being devotees, and be always careful of the illusory energy and the external energy, which is always trying to disturb the devotees. So we take shelter especially of the holy names, but then we take shelter of the Vaishnavas also. Therefore, not only we chant japa, but we take part in kirtan. Together we chant the holy names. Especially in the beginning, so we have to take shelter of the devotees and be together with the devotees, hearing Krishna Katha with the devotees, serving the deities with the devotees, chanting the holy names together with the other devotees, Sankirtan. Only those who are more advanced, they may simply chant the holy names. And that is sufficient. Everything is included in that. But it is for those who are more advanced, who are on the platform of Madhyam Adhikari, intermediate state at least, fixed, Nishta, Ruchi, they have Nam Ruchi. They can constantly chant the holy names in japa also. And they have a realization of Krishna Sarup, and then they chant Shuddhanam. And then Krishna is revealing. And then there's no need of anything else. But still, just to set the example, they will associate with the devotees. And they will also perform Harinam, Sankirtan with other devotees. Of course, according to one's nature, one is performing the different limbs of devotional service, which ultimately are all, so they are different and non-different. So one who is properly chanting Krishna Nam is serving also Krishna. He is hearing Krishna Nam. He is serving the lotus feet. He is understanding that Krishna is my best friend. He is fully surrendered. Hare Krishna. So we take shelter of Krishna Nam, and then we can be protected by the Lord from not only from the opposite sex, but even from so many unwanted desires, Kam, not only Kam or Krodh or Lobha, but Krodh, becoming angry unnecessarily, and then Moha, being illusioned, externally speaking, to being internally speaking illusion, that is no harm. So, but externally speaking, we should try not to become bewildered, or madness, matsarya. So that is envy. Ichadvesha samuttena. So we have to become free from this enjoying spirit, and also become being envious of the Vaishnavas or the Supreme Lord. So these are which may show in many ways. It is not only the gross manifestation, but very subtle. So we have to use our fine intelligence and be always thoughtful and praying to the Lord, to the spiritual master also, and take the association of the spiritual master, the advanced devotees, to sharpen our intelligence so we can discriminate between what is the internal energy and what is the external energy, what is spiritual life and what is material life. Sometimes there's a fine line, because the external energy is very subtle also. So we have the gross body which we can see, but we cannot see the subtle body. Mind, intelligence and false ego, but we know it is there, and we have heard from the scriptures. So there are the coverings there of the soul, the gross and the subtle. And so Bhumirapo Naravayo Kammanor Manabudira Evacha. So earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. And so these are also the coverings of the universe. And actually that is explained by Sanatana Goswami and Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And so actually the coverings of the universe are there, and first is the covering of earth, then water, then fire, then air and ether, which are all more subtle. But the first covering is very huge, covering the whole universe. And the next one, the water, is 10 times bigger. The fire is 10 times bigger. It is more and more subtle, but always 10 times bigger. And the most subtle, of course, is the false ego. But we can see also sometimes the false ego is very big. So we have to transcend that false ego. And but even there, then there's actually no more covering of the universe. Then comes the Mahat, the Mahat Tattva. And then comes Prakriti. And the most subtle is the Pradhan, which is first which is there, and then the material world is manifested. And it is mentioned there actually in each of the layers. First the Bhumi is there, and in there, of course, the Varhadev is there. The Boar incarnation is there. And in the layer of the water, Matsyadev is there. In the layer of the fire, Suryadev is there. In the layer of the Vayu, then actually Pradumna is there, one of the Vishnu Chatuvyuha. And then in the layer of the Akash, the ether, no, the Aniruddha is there first, then Pradumna. And then in the ego, Shankarshan is the deity there. And then beyond the then comes the ego, comes the Mahat, and that is then the Vasudeva is there. The deity there. And then interestingly enough, in the most subtle, the Prakriti is there, and then the Pradhan. First is the Pradhan also when the material world is being manifested. First Pradhan is there, unmanifested. And then Prakriti is manifesting. So because the material world is not always manifested, only sometimes by the will of the Lord, but even that sometimes is like millions of years. And Mahavishnu is exhaling. When he's exhaling, the universes are coming into existence for millions and trillions of years. And then he's inhaling, everything is in the body of then Mahavishnu again. And it is going on for a long time. But even that, after some times, is all wound up. And Mahavishnu is going into Mahashankarshan, one of the Chaturvyu, the Dvitiya Mahashankarshan. Mul Shankarshan is there, Balaram, in Dwarka. So the first is Pradhan, then Prakriti comes, and all the different tattvas are coming, and then Brahma is coming, and so on. So in the most subtle one, the Pradhan, actually Mohini Murti is there. This Mohini Murti, which is explained here, and is worshipped by Prakriti Devi. So that is mentioned in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatana Goswami. So a special form of the Lord, which is there. But of course we as Vaishnavas, so we respect all the forms of the Lord, but our love is Aradhya Bhagavan, Brajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitupasana Varajavargarya Kalpitaha. So Aradhya Devi, that is Krishna. We worship Krishna. It's Prananath, is the Lord of our life. And then of course the Upasana, the highest form of worship, is performed by the gopis, especially Srimati Radharani. So our our Devi, Swamini, that is Srimati Radharani. So we offer all respect to Srimati Radharani. And she is most beautiful. And and all the great personalities actually that take shelter of Srimati Radharani. Even Lord Shiva. So he wrote one a prayer, it came from his lotus mouth, glorifying Srimati Radharani, which all the great saints in Braj, they will chant. Munindra Vrindavandite Triloka Shokahanine Prasanna Bhakta Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Brajendra Bhanu Nandini Brajendra Sunu Sangate Kadakarishyasi Hamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam. So actually he wanted to see Mohini Murti, but he's even more eager to see Srimati Radharani. And he can, of course, have darshan also. And he wants the mercy of Radharani, Radha Kripa Kataksha, the sidelong glance of Srimati Radharani's mercy. Munindra Vrindavandite, and all the great, the Munindra, all the great sages, they're actually meditating on Srimati Radharani. Those who are intelligent, the great sages. Those who are not intelligent, they meditate on somebody else. But Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they know Srimati Radharani as the foremost. So they're all worshipping her. They're not only worshipping Krishna, but the energy, Srimati Radharani, because without Radharani you cannot really serve Krishna. She is this Hladini potency, the bliss potency. Without Radharani we cannot properly serve Krishna. So Makeshwari, Kriyeshwari, Sureshwari, Sureshwari, Triveda Bharadishwari, Pramana Shasaneshwari, Rameshwari, Kshameshwari, Pramoda Kananeshwari, Brajeshwari, Brajari Pesi Radhike, Namastute. So that Lord Shiva has revealed this beautiful Radha Kripa Kataksha Stotram, which the Vaishnavas who are residing in Braj and who are taking shelter of Srimati Radharani, they are well aware of these beautiful shlokas, and they may recite that for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani, so they may be able to properly serve Krishna. So that also is revealed by Lord Shiva, the greatest Vaishnava. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Yes. Gopal Prabhu, yes. Hare Krishna. Yeah, quickly give the microphone so those who are on the radio, they can also listen what Prabhuji is saying.
Discussing Lord Shiva.
Yes.
How he is considered to be the greatest of Vaishnavas.
Yes.
And his potency is not equal to, but very close to that of Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Elsewhere in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we saw how Lord Brahma became very astounded when he went to visit Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu asked him which Brahma.
That was Krishna. He came to see Krishna.
Yes.
In Dwarka.
In Dwarka, yes.
Yeah.
So we know that there are many Brahmas.
Yes.
What about Shiva?
Yes, there are also many Shivas, so many Shivas.
There's a Shiva for every...
Yeah, in every universe there is a Shiva.
There's one Shiva.
Yes. Yes. And even in this universe, there are more than one Shiva. The Rudras are there. 11 Rudras are there. Manifestations of, there are 11 actually. Yeah, must be the original one and then the expanded forms. Yeah. Yes. So many manifestations are there of Lord Shiva, yeah. And then he's there even in Nandagaon. The hill there, that is a manifestation of Lord Shiva. And then, of course, he's so much respected all over India. And so many manifestations are there, Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna.